Okay, guys, well, first of all, I got the battery recharged on the camera again. Um, got the sights on this slide, so first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is Dremel that where that tenon comes through on that front sight that I told you about. Okay, and that's got that flushed up. Well, I got that Dremel tool here. I'm just going to go ahead and take and work on this bushing. This is what we need to do with bushing, is just knock off kind of leading edge and taper that lug down a little bit, and that's what's holding us up on that. So we got that taken care of, and we'll get that out of our way also. Like I say, I'm really suspect of this extractor, so we're going to go ahead and throw that in and see about doing some extractor testing real quick here. I suspect really strongly that it will fail the test, because I'm about 99.9% certain that it's bent the wrong direction. Push your firing pin up in there. Okay, got that. Okay, so we're going to take a live round, stick in here underneath the shell casing, or stick the live round in here underneath the extractor, and it's already so loose it's not going to take any shaking at all. So we'll take that back apart, pull that extractor out, bend it in the right direction. See, it's got absolutely no tension on it at all. That's not right. The biggest problem we'll have is possibly getting the thing in there too tight now. Go ahead and put our firing pin in here now that I know that that's all lined up and the channel's okay. Alright. That even has a little bit better look to it as I'm looking in there. Alright, you can kind of see where that's sitting in there. Basically, I'm putting it around in about the same position that it would be in inside the chamber. The object of it is to be able to aggressively shake it and have the round fall through, but to not have it so tight that it won't. But it should hold itself in there like so, and then under aggressive shaking fall out. We'll go with it for there. Probably we'll end up adjusting it some more, but we'll try it. right here on the back where this extractor comes out, typically this is smoothed out perfectly flush with the back of the slide. Since we're still working on that, I'm going to wait on that a little bit. It's one of those things that can be done now or be done later. That's something I'm going to go ahead and wait on. You can see with this bushing though that the bushing now turns up to where it's in the clear area just fine without having to force it, and comes back around to the open area just fine. Got a couple more little polishing spots we're going to do, and then we're going to put this thing back together, and we'll basically have it ready for range test. Now, one thing I had hoped to get in the mail today that I did not was a new ejector. We could probably go ahead and test fire this one with this ejector, simply because the fact it's loose does not prevent it from functioning, and there's really no place for it to go when the pistol is completely put together. It's just more of an annoyance and something that'll drive me nuts otherwise. But I do have a couple places I want to polish. I want to polish the ramp on the frame right there, and I want to polish the mouth of the barrel right here, or chamber, and then we'll get this thing back together. Hold on just a minute. Okay, so we've got our little felt wheel on our Dremel tool and our frame, and we'll go ahead and put some of our polish in there. Try not to spray it all over everybody in the neighborhood. What we're doing with this again is just simply polishing this ramp up. We're not attempting to remove any material at all. And all this is just a Flitz compound, which, as you can see now, is taking that to a nice polish. And we'll do the same thing on this barrel now. Got both of those polished up, we're in good shape. Now, we'll go ahead and do some reassembly. So, here we go. Start with by putting our trigger in. Follow that up with the magazine release. Got some good function on that. With our sear and disconnector next. Drop those parts in where they belong with their respective pin. Oh, I was looking at this pin. Let me double check this pin here real quick. Because what I was looking at, and we were talking about how difficult that pin was to get in and out. And I have a suspicion that this pin is bent. So I'll use the straight edge off of this sear spring and examine it, and sure enough it is bent a little bit. So we're going to throw that pin out. One thing that's always handy to have with you is an extra pin kit. And I actually have a couple of them. Whether I can find them or not is an entirely different story, but I do happen to have an extra set. And if you'll notice, that pin went in very easy. So, I've got the sear and disconnector in place. Go ahead and go in with our sear spring, our mainspring housing, hammer, our grip safety, thumb safety, and we have to have the hammer in the back position to get that in. Let's not get in too big of a hurry here. Let's go ahead and get this plunger pins and springs in first, then our thumb safety. Move our mainspring housing up into position and seat that pin. That's good and flush. Oh, let's keep the mystery going. I did go ahead and polish up the hood on that barrel. I realize that typically your GI issued ones wouldn't have that because obviously you don't want something shiny in dark places, but I couldn't resist. Barrel bushing, recoil spring. Slide our frame into place. Line our holes up for our magazine release. Pull it back to the breakdown notch. Our recoil plug in. Lock that in place. And there we go. Now we'll check our grip safety's working. Thumb safety's working. Now, kind of the piece de resistance. A little bit of compound on them. They got little white specks in them now. And we got some military issue style Bakelite plastic grips. Kind of complete our World War II GI issue look. Okay, I'll have to clean the compound off of those, I guess, with a wet rag. No big deal. Alright, so there we go, guys. It's the Essex 1911. Gone back to retro GI. See what we can do about that. Get a compound off of those things. Make them all purty. There. Now, so what we did in review, we fixed this barrel bushing that was giving us problems. We've got our magazine release working. So gravity's taking those out. We've got our grip safety fixed so that it is no longer allowing us to pull the trigger without having it engaged. We have fixed our hammer slop that we had. Replaced our mainspring housing with one with a lanyard that would be military correct. We have peened our plunger tube housing in place. The one thing we were not able to fix right now was our ejector is still loose, and we'll have to take it out and do some test firing to see how well our extractor is working or not working. But so far, expenses on this dude, paid $311 for the gun. The grips were $13.50. The sights were $9.50. I traded the mainspring housing out and the grip safety out of parts that I had, so that's kind of cheating, but I believe the grip safety can be gotten for $15, $18, and the mainspring housing can be gotten for $20. And like I say, the ejector was $15, so there's 50 extra dollars, 60 for the sights, 75. So I'm under $400 still. I'm right at about $390 total expense on that. And like I say, until we go out to the range, we won't know for sure, but no reason to expect that we should have any problems once we do get out there. Anyway, I hope you again enjoyed this series. Just in case you didn't know, probably the only things that are on this right now that really don't fit the World War II GI Aura are the thumb safety is the elongated style thumb safety, where this part comes down and around versus just a little nubbin on it, which is what the World War I style or II style have. And the cocking serrations on the slide are slanted instead of vertical. But other than that, it's a fair representation of a GI issue. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. We'll talk to y'all later. Have a nice day. Bye.